to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all, Jim. Still have their meeting sitting. Start off with the approval of minutes from our July 6th meeting. If you guys have application to review those minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes from the July 6th meeting.
Crystal, give me a second. Thank you, Brian. All in favor of approving the July 6th meeting minutes and written, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And that passes. Thank you all. Same thing, we'll move on to the approval of claims and the accounts payable from July 20th, 2026.
Move to approve accounts payable for July 20th, 2026.
Thank you, Brian. Would it be a second?
Second.
Thank you, Crystal. All in favor of approving the accounts payable from July 20th, 2026, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you, that passes. Pretty good. Last review here will be for the payroll voucher dated July 10th, 2026.
I make a motion for payroll voucher July 10th.
Thank you, Annie. For the second.
Second.
Thank you, Brian. All in favor of approving the payroll voucher dated July 10th, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you, that passes. All right, we'll get into our department head review. We'll start off with the police department, their monthly activity and business update.
For June, the police department had 0 security checks. They made 87 traffic stops. They wrote no tickets. They gave 3 warnings, worked 157 cases, and made 6 arrests. That's that for the PD. We're still taking applications for the opening process. For our hiring process, we have 14 applications now.
How many did you say?
Just 14.
Just 14 was good.
We've received 2 since July 1st. So all the other 12 are privately. And then time you whittle that down, we'll stick that.
When is the deadline?
August, I think it was August 1st.
Okay. And then you'll start the selection process.
Yeah, and we'll have to reach out and do our physical agility, written testing, and then backgrounds. We're probably another month or 2 out. Before we can all bring it on in. Then you're looking almost another year before they can get on there.
Anything on part-time? Have you kind of put any feelers out for that or anything, or
No,
we put feelers out and no interest yet? Okay. All right, any other questions that maybe they can go? I guess you stick around for the new business part. We have some things on here.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll try to make it as big as possible. Okay, nothing else for the police department. We can move on to the wastewater department.
You wanna do the report first, you wanna do what part you wanna do
Let's
first?
do the report first.
Month report for June, the movement with CBOD was 98.801%. Removal of total suspended solids was 99.142%. Removal of ammonia was 99.351%. Removal of phosphorus was 93.651%. Our daily average flow was 493,000 gallons a day. And for the month, we treated 14,937,162 gallons and no MPDF population. Built press 44,494 gallons. Had them fall in the downstream. Still getting everything on our monthly report from JC. We cleaned our manual 431. Back out the lift station. Johnny and I have been doing quite a bit of jetting around town, and this time of year we always make sure to specifically hit the around the schools and daycares and the churches. So we got all of those done. On Schneck Medical Center, we may have an issue with the driveways crossing the forest lane. We're waiting for NDOT to give them their actual driveway approval to know how far they've got to go down with the vetting to put the driveway in. O'Meara is tomorrow going to pothole or 10-inch force main and the, 2-inch force main from the grinder pump system. So at least we'll have an exact depth where we're at, so when we get the driveway permit, we can see if we're gonna have to do something there. 10-inch one, I think we're fine, because it's 5 foot deep. It's that 2-inch one that's about 36 inches deep that could be an issue. Depends how far NDOT wants them to go down with the vetting on that. On the, elementary school over there, the sewer main extension, after the last meeting I was here, we had signed, gave it to the school. Then there was some revisions they wanted, basically dealt with the ready grant. I got it to Zach. Zach made the changes that they were asking for. School has since signed, their portion of it. So we need to reconsider signing it again, so they can move forward with their subdivision. I have received the statement of financial responsibility from them, so the only outstanding item will be the contract, then I can sign their, item capacity letter, so they can go to IDM and work on their construction permit.
I have copies of this, and not very good with that, so, yep, I am good with it. I made some, couple of revised one section, but I'm not happy. Okay. I'll definitely come if you guys sign it. Okay. I'll do it. I'll try to review it. Well, then review it as we go.
Okay. Working with NDOT on their pavement project coming up in 2027. We kind of requested that they create our sewer pipe and they cross it with the storm sewer. That will not happen. We're still, they have a storm sewer that will cross the JC store and then out onto the Liverton Road. We look at it and it appears there's a conflict of elevation. They claim that everything's fine.
Who's that?
NDOT knows. So basically what I'm being told is the project is, what Johnny and I'll do probably sometime next spring when we see they're getting ready to bid it. We'll get some pre-video and post-video to make sure the sewer line, there is no issue with it. Slowly still working on, ditch PLC, getting some spare parts in. Plant maintenance and repairs. I had the VFD cooling unit went out of the treatment plant lift station. We had to have this replaced. It was 9251. Our sludge pump going into the shop for rebuild. It's $25,615. Had the price out of the new one, and the new one is $114,500. So, and we had a SCADA computer crash, but Sam's got it replaced out and back up and running. The only thing I've got, I know budget time's turned out. We need to take a look at the utilities pay scale. Craig got it on. Compared it to other facilities in the county, and I compared it in surrounding counties, and I compared it to other class 2s throughout the state. Like I said, I know we're hitting into budget time, so I thought maybe now's the time we kind of take a look at this and see where we're at, what we can do, can't do, what's possible. What I asked for this evening, we don't have PERF. And when we're trying to hire, that was a huge stumbling block. I need the council's permission to work with PERF to see what the cost and stuff will be.
I'm still gonna read it with that. I think we could have a motion for.
It's just discovery.
Yeah, discovery. Not saying it was.
That's fine, but I had to have your own blessing
Appreciate it.
dealing with her, so that they were. Okay. That's all I've got.
And thank you for this, we can review this, and give us a chance.
I know it's budget time, I figured now's the time to take it, digest it, discuss it, and.
Okay.
I just wanted that to present that this evening, first was the one I needed.
And yeah, did you have contact and everything there to be able to?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, just let us know what you find out there.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else, Scott?
That's all I've got.
Next on the list, we have a sale of surplus solid spreader and surplus 2004 to 250. I think we got a couple still moving soon.
Well, the first one, the sale of the biosolid spreader, you guys, we had that, social meeting just to make it surplus. And he's got an offer and you guys need to approve him moving forward with that offer.
Okay.
He presented it all last meeting, 20,000 with Jenner.
Like, I wasn't at that special meeting, but yeah, that's,
Yeah, we just need to surplus at that meeting. We were supposed to do it around the river,
right.
so he just needs a vote to go ahead with Jenner.
So the sale of that is the offer is $20,000 on that
Yes,
spreader.
yes. You guys should have that in your folders.
Thoughts or questions or would it be a motion?
I motion to move forward with the sale of the surplus biosolid spreader to Jenner.
Thank you, Crystal. Would it be a second?
Second.
Thank you, Brian. All in favor of selling the biosolid spreader to Denver for an amount of $20,000, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. And that passes.
Then the next one is the bids.
So next we have a surplus 2004 F-250, a four-wheel drive truck that we had to put out to the public. Offered on sealed bids with a minimum of $4,000, correct? We received 2 sealed bids, so we're gonna. First bid I'm looking at here is an amount of $4,700. The second bid is an amount of $5,275. The actual procedure is to accept the obvious one of the 5275 in your motion. Okay. So I don't know if you guys want to be confirm this, but like a peek at it. Any questions? The motion to sell the truck to one of the bidders.
I make motion to do the sell of the truck for $52.75.
Thank you, Brian. Will there be a second? Thank you, Crystal. All in favor of selling the 2004 F-250 truck for the amount of $5,275? Aye. All opposed, same sign. That's passed.
Then I have a question, can I take a personal check for that, or do I need to request a cashier's check? How do can I contact the gentleman?
It's however he wants to pay, just make sure it goes in the correct one.
Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you. Would you rather? Okay, that's fine. Never, you know.
Okay, anything else for wastewater? We'll put this on copy. He's on the street department. Crystal, you the minute for John?
They have 60 locates, Deer Toka, 2 dogs for 1 day. They picked up limbs and yard waste, clean grates, emptied with downtown trash cans, mowed and weeded. They've been working on potholes in town and spraying the weeds. And they're looking into some drain issues in the Cummings and Kimberly, street area. He got some prices on an automatic, speed limit sign. And then they had to have the Packer truck work on the deck part of the truck seized up and had to be cleaned. And they had to get some new parts. They're seeing these issues due to it not being used as frequently, and it's not, they won't have a region in them. It's a diesel, and it just puts around, and they're gonna have to start taking it out and running it. It all fills up. Is it because they don't? Yeah, it's just. You think it's small distances, yeah. Okay. And then Seymour, I think he was there, they let them, they brought somebody down and our guys were with them. Yeah, so we get.
That's not so.
Yes.
Anything else, Crystal?
No, that's it.
Thank you. We'll move on to the department or school board first. Very good. Matter. The July meeting for the Grass House Central Community School Corporation School Board meeting. Board's actions for this month. We welcome the new board member, Christian Stahl. She was sworn in and she'll be representing Grassy Fork Township. Board elected the following personnel for the 2026-27 school year. President of the board will be Clayton Beard, Vice President Brian Wheeler, Secretary Christian Stahl, Assistant Secretary Troy Rudolph, myself. I'm picking up the Indiana School Board Association liaison and the Vocational Agricultural Committee for the high school. Levi Nertz, the Athletic Council. Treasurer is Angie Wills. Assistant Treasurer J.D. Peters. Board approved the 2026-27 fees for the elementary and middle school. Board approved a resolution for 2026 transfer for funds from the debt service to the operation fund. There will be a budget workshop on the 11th of August that all school board members are required to attend. Not a lot of activity for school because it's not a session right now, but a lot of you probably already know. I'm glad to announce this. All 3 of our schools, the high school, the middle school, and the elementary school, their archery teams, when they competed down at the world competition in Daytona, Florida, they had some outstanding results. One of those results that really stood out were our elementary school team, the 3D team, placed 5th overall in that competition, and they were number 2 in the state of Indiana. Our elementary school bullseye team, they placed 8th overall in the competition, and they as well were number 2 in the state of Indiana. Our Brownstown Central Middle School 3D team placed 14th overall and was the number 2 team for state of Indiana. And our high school 3D team placed 25th overall, but they were also the number 1 team in the state of Indiana. So pretty for that. Big salute and congratulations for a young man with the elementary school. Lee Guy Hitton, on his achieving first place finish overall in the elementary bullseye competition with a personal best score of 288 out of 300. Pretty good. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Dave. Do they get some sort of hardware or something that they display in the schools? What do you do?
Yeah, they got, there's a banquet coming up here, soon, so we'll see what they got.
Okay.
I know they got medals and things like that.
I know there's the town come around pretty good. I know they did a lot of fundraising and there's a lot of things that happen. Yeah.
So good. Thank you.
That's what the sirens were.
I was gonna say,
That was an escort for the archery team.
Okay, cool. That's cool. All right, anything else, anything from the park? Great, anything on that, or,
Yeah, that's.
oh, I'm saying, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna ask Ian, that was my first thing, anything on that whole, the ditch that we need to do?
Sorry,
School board, did you talk to him about that?
the ditch in the park?
Yeah, do we need to fill that in, cause I know there's kind
Yeah,
of just filled in.
how you guys gonna handle it, probably want to, we want to.
Sean said that someone came over, a contractor, that we didn't call, and so we thought the school did.
I'll double check if they did. I'll check, I'll give it Randy.
Yeah, I can't remember who he said it was, he just told me today.
I just know Brian Miller was gonna talk to, from the park, was gonna talk to Udi after we left last week, but.
There was a contractor over there,
You can help in the contract with them.
Sean does, I can't think of who it was,
Okay. I'll find out.
and so he assumed you guys had done that, the contractor stuff.
Okay, I'll find out.
Okay, that was one thing, so we're still waiting on the install of the playground equipment, probably September due to one of their crews getting hurt, which is fine, it's in storage, so we're good there. Pool attendance is really low in the past 2 weeks, have you noticed it? Coming in like concession flow, everything low,
Everything's low.
so any ideas on how we can increase that? They wanted to get free admission to teachers, they had some ideas, but I don't know, we start getting free this, free that, and a couple more issues that, anybody have any ideas?
No, sure.
It's gonna be real slow fair week too.
Okay, there was just some concerns, we had somebody get hurt on Sunday on the slide, cracked their head and then we got stitches, which don't handle that, I think.
More staples.
4 staples. Turned it into insurance, which I assume is what we need to do, correct?
Yeah.
So, it's on-
I talked to the mom this morning, and, she said when she woke him up this morning before she left for work, he said he wasn't really in any pain, he's 8 years old. And that, everything's going good, and I gave her insurance information, and because the hospital held off on billing, so they got it, and, everything should be fine.
So if anything else, let me know.
and then the first, payment for the ready grant is reimbursed in September, so you wanna make a motion, I guess, for $5,000, which we have, to pay Bill Hyde and the architectural group for schematic drawings, scope and pricing packages, floor plans, exterior elevations, the roof plan, wall sections, to be used for general budgeting and initial project development. That whole thing where they apply for all the necessary things for the state is 28,000. So I said we'll start off with 5 in increments. Motion to approve that.
All in favor of any motion for the $5,000, correct? All in favor, of that, say aye. All opposed, same sign.
So then the next, probably the next, not the next meeting, but the next one, we should have drawings or anything, what it's going to look like. The budget.
Is that what you sent me?
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't know, I don't have to thank for the ready grant. Did you prove that? I just said it was in there,
I thought I did.
I don't see it. So we need, that has to be turned back in. Which I can come down here for a line.
Okay.
That's it.
Thanks, Jamie. All right, we'll move on to old business. Anyone have anything under old business? There's nothing listed on the agenda. Okay, hearing nothing, we'll move on to new business. We'll start over with Peggy Rain.
Yeah.
John,
Hi,
Second line, to do pole vault.
do what?
Do the whole vault.
Oh, yeah.
Give it a couple items.
Well, back in 2023, I came over here about these 2 poles. One of them didn't have a light, so it's no big deal. And the other one was a pole that had a crook in it. And I kept saying that pole has 3 transformers. It's real close to the pavilion. Please help me put pressure on Duke to do something. The light got repaired, but I didn't get any help on the pole. And as I predicted, on March 6th, sucker came down. Now, if it had come down during your festival, it was real close to the pavilion. I don't know if you can all see, but it had the 3 big transformers on it. And right here is the crash, where it crashed down. split off right there. There was the pole, there was the crash, it hit my shed. I just heard today, it's been going on since March sixth, but I think they are gonna, they told me they approved my claim on the shed. But this little picture right up here in the corner, I was sitting right here in this office when, we were having a meeting and that, shed, which belongs to Kathy, the beautician, it got clobbered. So what happens is the wind comes down through there. I've talked to Tanner about the police department. What happens is that wind comes down alongside my building and I have a really long building. As soon as it gets past it, it just all the way where that pavilion is, all the way where your attendees are for your festival. And I've asked the police department about some sort of an evacuation plan for your festival, because I think you had on your high stage 4,500 over there. And I said, don't look at the ground, don't look at the sky. Tell me you've got an evacuation plan for all these people you've got jammed in that little bitty place, because the weather gets severe sometimes out there. And things start flying around. I've had, I don't know how many broken tables, but I tried to set a table out there with a glass top. I've got one more on there, but it's really tight, so the whole table's gotta go. It's just dangerous, and I've tried to get your attention, and I thought maybe with the crash of the pole, you might pay a little bit more attention to me. And also, I got a water line that comes up to my new shed, but I can't afford to use it if I have to pay sewer on top of that. I'm just watering flowers. I had a big argument with Carl Shake when they placed that pavilion. I said, put the pavilion over there closer to your double wide street and closer to the courthouse, because then you have pictures of the courthouse. And I said, if you put it over there, you're gonna keep impacting that alley, and you only have 12 feet. That is not big enough to service a crowd. 12 feet. I mean, I told him about 4 times in a row. 12 feet, 12 feet, 12 feet. That's not big enough. But I lost that argument. And that's all moved now. But you do keep impacting the alley. And I have a problem with water in my building. My mom thought maybe it was a underground spring. But Steve Zabel told me that they used to store carpet. It's in that front part, the old part closest to the highway. And I had a board member come over and ask me about that sump water. And I'm sorry, I can't recall his name. And at that time I said, right now I don't even have a sump. But I said, all that water is coming from the street. And I said, remember, this building is 1902, and every time you pave, you change that elevation on that street water. And then the other thing that you got going is you've got this sidewalk that has, which one has a hump? Well, right here's the hump, and it goes, I don't know what the angle is, I'd say it's about 30 degrees. And that goes all along through there, and if y'all want to come over or individually, I'd show you. But I said, where does that water go to? I would like to see the underground. And he said, your board member, unnamed, I can't remember, he says, I agree with you, that water is all coming from the front, close to the street. He says, I can see it running down through there. Right now, I've got a sump in there, but this is how much water I get, and this is what we do on the street. Now, physically, I've been able, before your festival, to go out there and clean that whole section of alley and clean all this up and pressure wash it. But physically and financially, I can't really afford to help right now. And physically, I've not been doing well. I don't think I can clean your street for you for your watermelon festival. And I know you have a chain link fence, but people still traverse there. All your festival goers are going up and down that alley, up and down that alley, and I don't think it's safe. So,
Just so I can understand what I'm hearing,
Okay.
there's a couple questions. So the Duke Kennedy thing, is that fixed?
It's not, it's not your fault, no, but it's Duke Energy's, but I was trying to get y'all to put pressure on Duke, because all my calls was falling on dead ears.
So I'm trying to confirm, is it fixed or do you think it's in the process of being fixed?
The pole is fixed,
Okay.
it got fixed on March sixth, now they're saying they're gonna pay my claim today.
Okay, so you're dealing with Duke on that.
I'm dealing with Duke on that, but I just wanted to show you.
And technically, the festival is not ours either, it's for the record, that's not the town festival, it's sponsored by us, so there's no separate entity. So we approved them to have that festival there, but I will relay the message about the evacuation and everything, so I'm sure they find a place to offer something.
So anyway, I got some written data. You can have any of the pictures you want. You can come over and take a look. But, let's see. Did I give you each one of those? I think I did. Luke's gonna have a committee and I'm probably gonna go. But I'm gonna try to give him a heads up. I had a tenant, possible tenant, and I saw his advice as a redevelopment thing. And that's back in February, and I'm yet to hear from him. Well, I'm not real happy with the grass down near Main Street, so there's that. And I guess I'm done. The only thing you could really rule on for me, and I'll get out of your hair, is that water line. The season's over for this year, but I have paid for a water line to water flowers, and I can't use it because I have a sewer bill on top of it. I just can't, I mean, I can afford $32 to water my flowers for a month, but I can't afford like a $70 sewer bill on top of that. I can't do that. And I do try to beautify the area. I try to clean the area. I have tried to watch out for the pavilion people. I call them the watchers, because when I'm out there working, they watch me. But we have kept it pretty clean. I do try to keep an eye out for the people that want to stay over and sleep. I had one guy who pulled up his van and plugged in his van.
Ms. Ernie, I just want to remind you, and as well as all public speakers, that there's a 3-minute speaking limitation.
okay.
We're on minute 8, so at this point, we can, nearly 3 times the amount of time that's
All right.
currently allowed. The reason why we do that is content neutral, to make sure that everybody waiting behind you has an opportunity to speak. We'll be sure to incorporate this information into the record, and at the next meeting, you should.
Okay.
Come,
Well, I just thought you should be aware.
Issues at that time. Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Move on to, Bill Schultz. Dick?
I wrote a letter here that I want to read and try to get done in 3 minutes. Writing in regards to the flooding of the damage to my apartment buildings and the condition of the town's drainage ditch and culvert. Approximately a year and a half, not sure exactly. Before the flooding occurred, I attended a board meeting where it was stated that the town does not perform maintenance or repairs on the ditch line. Based on that information, I believe the town was not maintaining those ditches. Because of that understanding, I performed maintenance on the ditch at 121 South Water Street, which is part of the same drainage ditch, although separate by a road which is involved in the flooding. After my apartments were damaged by water and backup through the drainage system, I was informed by Crystal Stuckler through a text message that I was not permitted to perform any work on the town's drainage ditch. She informed me that the town's property will be hired and approved by the town. These two positions appear to be inconsistent. I was first told that the town did not maintain the ditch lines, but after the flooding, I was told I was not allowed to maintain them. If the town does not maintain the drainage ditch and also prohibits adjacent property owners from maintaining it, it raises a serious question about how those drainage systems are expected to be kept in working condition. The drainage ditch involved is not something that can be maintained with ordinary lawn equipment. Portions of the ditch is approximately 6 feet deep, 15 to 25 feet wide, requiring specialized equipment such as an excavator with a brush cutter to maintain it safe. I respectfully ask the board to explain its policy regarding the inspection and maintenance of the drainage ditch and culverts, and to explain who is responsible for ensuring they maintain clear and capable for carrying stormwater as designed. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to a response in writing. There is no insurance that I can get to protect myself from the water that was backed up due to the manhole that was clogged. I mean, I didn't know the manhole was there, but if somebody doesn't inspect it, it will happen again. We've had 2 or 3 major rains since then. The ditch has not even been a third of the way full. So somewhere in writing, I need to know, are we gonna take care of it? Or I will be opening the town's infrastructure and looking at it. But I need it in writing that I cannot, or that you guys are gonna do it. Thank you. And here's the letter. Here's the ditch and what it looks like today. I mean, it's overgrown, I can't even mow it. You know, I've not mowed the ditch, can't mow the ditch, but it's starting to get out where I can't even mow my lawn.
So we will take it into consideration. Obviously, we can't make a decision or tell you anything this time. I will tell you, we are looking at options. As we know, it's no secret that water and where water goes is a big issue in some areas. Who's responsible, who's not responsible? We'll look into that and get you an answer.
Well, you can't get insurance for it. I went to several insurance companies and they say, well, you can buy flood insurance, but flood insurance has to cover over an acre of ground and get more than one property. So you can't get it, and then the insurance companies say, well, if it floods on your property, we're gonna consider that a flood. So I think it's catch-22.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Next on the agenda is boat and RV parking on streets. I can have full flavor of this. I've been approached by a few residents throughout the town, different locations, with concerns about boat and RV parking on the streets. One being eyesores, and 2, the more important issue being a safety concern. People trying to pull out of their driveways, they can't see around. To my knowledge, we do not have an ordinance that addresses parking of boats or RVs on the streets. And I just wanted to get on the agenda for discussion tonight, mainly, and consider if we want to come up with some sort of ordinance or see what other towns do, or what we can do there. I'll open it up if there's any comments or questions or discussion points, but right now I just wanted to get it out there so we can discuss at the next meeting, maybe look into it a little bit further.
I know my door was having issues with the same thing, people living in RVs.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, that's next.
Okay, sorry, point 2, I thought it was 1.1, okay.
Tim, are we allowed to talk with our neighbors online here?
Go ahead, man.
Okay, I live in the, Autumn Court Condominium Association in Brownstown. And as you know, if you drive down there, there's 10 buildings, it's a cul-de-sac. Due to mailboxes and a fire hydrant, we are 8 parking spaces, less than what would be there because we can't park in front of the mailbox, we can't park in front of that fire hydrant. And, so then, for 5 years, we had a camper, right? RV. Well, it's full body truck.
Fifth wheel,
Okay.
big one.
And now, we went through this 5 years ago and everything kind of died down and then a pontoon boat showed up. Okay, so the pontoon boat is down by the camper. No, it's down in the cul-de-sac. So, people are just wanting to know, because see, we're a condo association. I'm the president and he's gone. And, you know, just Zach, I'm sure knows, condo living is very, I don't think people realize that we have to abide by state laws, federal laws, Condo Act, and also the Nonprofit Corporation Act. And we're fiduciaries that are said we're responsible for safety. So the lawyers that I've talked to off the record said that if the town says that you can park there, there's nothing that our condo association can do to change those bylaws. And our main thing, I think, is safety, because, you know, we got an 8-foot trailer. You got an 8.5-foot pontoon boat. And then because we have no parking spaces, people park across the street.
So I got out with the measuring stick and what's the Indiana law, you have to have 20 feet for fire trucks. Is Mr. Miller, is that isn't it 20 feet, the law for fire trucks to get through and stuff?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Yeah, and so when we measure it, it doesn't allow for 20 feet. But if people have nowhere to park, you know, who's gonna say, oh gee, I shouldn't park across here and the fire truck might need to come down through there. But there's no way that if we had a big accident out there that people could get in and out. And I'm a retired nurse for 48 years, rode the ambulance for Methodist Hospital in the 70s. And the fire chief, not the chief, but the fire captain came out and he said, oh Denise, you know, we could do this. And I'm going, no, I think if you're trying to get out, the ambulance is trying to get out. I don't see if you are going down to 19 feet, how an emergency, anything can get through. And the only other thing is that when people Google, and I hate that, you know, there's a couple of things that were printed out that says that Brownstown in Jackson County, right, Wasanda, had an ordinance about this. So I think it's a different state because we don't have any ordinance to do we can
I'm
about,
aware of on this.
but it pulls up,
And maybe we talked about it one time.
Alternative. Because we're in the cul-de-sac, there's, other choices, no other choices of in and out. The pontoon boat is across the street from me. My 80-year-old neck doesn't turn this far like it used to. And I can't see, and I'm scared to death every time I back out that I'm gonna hit that monstrous pontoon boat.
Yeah, and it's not just your area, we've heard from other areas as well, and it's a safety thing, one disciplinary driveway to your point. So if you don't mind, let us look at it, I'll confirm that we don't have anything in the ordinance. And if we don't, we'll look at maybe if it makes sense to have something in there. We'll see what other communities do, we'll get the SAC and see what's we can and can't do, or we should or shouldn't do. Okay.
If I can just, cause I also live in, the other concern is that when our mowers have to come once a week and they have their equipment with the trailer, I almost had a wreck one time because I was trying to get by all this equipment. Well, not the boat. I didn't have to get by the boat, but I had to get by the RV and I had to get by the mowing equipment. And there was somebody coming towards me that I couldn't see. My view was blocked. Almost had a wreck, but luckily they pulled over because they saw me. So it is an issue, and it's an issue in a couple different ways.
Does the same person own the boat that owns the, now, different people?
Two different people.
And they got, is it a new, like they newly put this there, or has it been there a long time?
I've been here, because I moved from a suburb of Cincinnati, it'll be 4 years in March. So the RV has been there, but the boat is kind of sort of new.
And has it moved? Does it move for the weekends, come back, or is it just like not plated and sitting there?
it's,
No rhyme or reason
it's
to it.
reason to it.
I think they're related.
Are they plated?
Yeah, I think they come and go, so.
Well, like I said, I mean, we're just worried about safety.
Sure, I understand.
Give us so we'll have our next meeting the first Monday in August. Give us until then, we'll try to come and get some sort of response to you, let you know what direction we think is best for the town.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
And I can't board know now there isn't a specific, ordinance with respect to off-street parking. Do have in our zoning ordinance some, regulations with respect to parking, but nothing specifically on RVs, boats, heavy equipment. Now we have to narrow the tailor, it couldn't be a permanent ban, so we would need to allow temporary parking, but we could certainly do something with respect to people who are storing RVs, boats, etc. On public right of ways that are creating safety.
Because they live there. And so they wanted in front of their place of living.
Sure.
And Mr. Miller, what's hard for us too is because, you know, I've looked into all the bylaws and declarations, and it's almost like since we don't own the street,
Yeah, you can't
we
control
can't do
all of it.
anything, can we?
No.
So I thought even if we're a condo association with all these pages of laws, we can't, do anything if the town.
Yeah, generally private property rights stand that should,
Okay.
that should,
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you all. Like I said, we'll look into it and you can update it.
One of the things I saw when I looked at other town's ordinance for that is, when you make it where they can't long-term park, like over 5 hours or something, and they store them, then they're gonna put it in their yard or whatever, they have to have a concrete slab poured, or a concrete or a gravel lot. They can't just pull it in their yard. They have to make a place for it so that it still looks
In a
nice.
condo association, see, this is, we have limited common area, none of us own one blade of grass.
Are these condo?
Yeah,
people?
yeah.
Will be different for them.
It's totally
like, there's
So the
different.
people that, they're condo owners,
Correct.
and you can't do anything with them.
Nothing, because it's,
And they live there.
it's a hierarchy, you know, you trump me, state trumps you, up the
Yeah, that
ladder,
makes
so. I don't.
So if we write an ordinance, I think we should add something like that, so they don't just pull in the front yard. They have to make a, at least 2 foot.
Especially when they don't own the ground, we don't own the ground, we own our, inside our unit, that's it.
That would be different for them. They would have to find a place to store it. But
So they're there in the winter too, or they take them to the fairground?
Nope, it's just, we don't know about the boat, they haven't been
Oh,
there.
that winter long, but the RV does not go to the
Is
fairground.
the fairground free?
No,
Okay, so you guys have an idea, I'm sorry.
but it's not expensive.
Okay. But I called Tremolians and got it right, so.
Yeah, it's nothing
Or
like
whatever
that.
storage. Okay. Thank you.
You're gonna afford
Thanks,
most
Joe.
of the work, but-
Like I said, sometimes it's no rhyme or reason, they think they use the RV for working, which I understand, they wanna live in it when they're in another state working, and I get that. So, I mean, it's up to you guys, what you guys decide to come up with.
Okay, well, thank you, and we'll continue on with the camping theme and go into residents living in RVs. We've got at least 3 instances we've been notified about and like this confirmed. So we do have an ordinance against on that, so we'll have to look into that.
Don't have to fight that back.
No. We've actually got one living in a shed.
they put an AC unit in and rented it to someone. So they're bundling.
So there's no water?
And then they also have a camper in the backyard that they're renting. Boat, a shed, and a camper. And then, yeah, and there's 2 other campers that people are living in their house is like they're renovating, but it has been years. So I don't think they're still moving towards that goal, which we can allow for situations like that, but it's been.
We're gonna need to update our ordinance because I have it on its 23, if that's allowed. Maybe don't, if it's not, I guess.
The one of them was explained to me that they came in and asked for a period of time and got to the council and it was okay. But it's been years now, no one's ever said, did they ever do that? And they're still just, and it's just pulled up in the front yard. And they're living in.
So the
house.
people living in the shed, like, did somebody turn them in? Did they, like, how did we find out about somebody living in a shed?
The person living in the camper got arrested and it came to light.
Told them first one. What do you think that's bad? Okay. So Joe, I'll get you and discuss it.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything else we need to do to enforce the ordinance, right? Since there is an ordinance. Like we had.
About living in the RVs, yeah.
But then we got about living in sheds? Or is that considered a?
I don't think you can rent out a space in your backyard to a renter.
Or we can check with. Dalton, I think.
Yeah, 2 residents on the
2
same lot.
residents on the same lot.
Okay.
It'd be 3.
Or the water.
And then also on this same one with the shed and everything, they had sewage leaking in the backyard from the house. They didn't, the lateral was messed up or something and they weren't fixing it. And CPS got called by someone and his children and it was a big mess. But they have stated that they had it fixed. I called the health department, which is who told them they had to fix it and it's to remove the children. And he said that it has been fixed, so they brought the children back, and I said, did you check it? And he said, no, we just took their word for it.
Is that something we should have them come out and check?
I told him that we'd be talking about it tonight, and he said if we want him to physically go back, he said, that he would.
Yeah, I think.
But he said he won't go without, police.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's already, we know they've also on the ground, you should get it checked again.
And also I ran it by Scott and they went and checked the main and everything, and it's not us, it's their lateral. We covered all those bases before anybody goes to talk to them.
Okay. We have several pool fields, they're not listed on the agenda, I'll make this short and sweet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pool fields located at 501 West Spring, 115 South Ewing, 830 South Poplar, 625 East Bridge, 230 South Ewing. The amounts range from $46 up to $75 for pool fields. There will be a motion to approve all these pool fields.
I motion to approve the pool fields as presented.
Thank you, Crystal, would be a second.
Second.
Thank you, Brian. All in favor of approving the pool field, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Those passed. Anything else under new business?
Make motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you all. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and you are adjourned.
I want to do it.